Today's video is sponsored by ExpressVPN, one-click protection for all your devices. Securing yourself couldn't be easier. Visit expressvpn.com/inside. God of War Ragnarok showed up in a big way last week at the PlayStation 2021 showcase, debuting both gameplay and story elements, which, for the most part, were received positively by many excited fans. However, apparently not everyone was thrilled with what they saw. Over the course of this week, a vocal minority took to social media to voice two, quote, big criticisms, unquote, which got so loud and toxic that God of War Ragnarok's lead writer felt the need to respond with an 11-part tweet. The first complaint that seemed to get a lot of attention was a social media post that pointed out the similarities between Kratos and animations in God of War 2018 and God of War Ragnarok. The tweet from self-proclaimed X-bot Gandalf Gaming reads, God of War Ragnarok looks like a clone of 2018 God of War. Even the animations are unchanged. Attached to the tweet is a video of Kratos getting into a boat in both games, and it does in fact look identical. Now, the tweet was obviously an inflammatory troll to get PlayStation fans riled up, but it probably hit a little too close to home for developers and fans alike, since reusing assets and animations is a topic that frequently bubbles up unironically among different sections of the gaming community as a way to accuse developers of being lazy or exploitative. Unfortunately, the history around the discourse there is probably what lured so many people in to interact with the tweet, allowing it to blow up as much as it did. Regardless if Gandalf Gaming was only joking or not, the fact is, reusing animations and assets from game to game is an incredibly common and fundamental part of game making. Extremely veteran game developer Lee Petty explained it best in the reply, saying, as a lead dev on Gears 1 through 3, I unabashedly back that up. Base character animations only change if there's a specific need to. They even stayed intact going to a new company for Gears 4 and 5. To waste dev time recreating the wheel would be super dumb. Moving on to the other big item, which you might have guessed, had to do with the reveal of a new character in God of War Ragnarok who happens to be black. Angrboda is a frost giant who is seen at the very end of the most recent Ragnarok trailer, seemingly offering to help Kratos and Atreus find the answers they're looking for. Well, some of them. After the reveal, a number of Twitter warriors came out of the woodwork to angrily claim that Sony Santa Monica was being too woke, making the game political, and of course, that Ragnarok is now historically inaccurate because, quote, there were no black people in Norse mythology, unquote. That's right, a game where a Greek demigod murders the entire pantheon and then goes on to father a Norse god whilst fighting and befriending a variety of fantastical and mythical creatures along the way is no longer viable or historically accurate because there is now a black person. Fortunately, God of War Ragnarok's lead writer, Matt Sophos, took to Twitter and masterfully deconstructed the nonsense controversy with a comprehensive Twitter thread. You should read the whole thing because it's good, but we'll summarize it here. Sophos starts out saying, God of War is our interpretation of mythology, not history, Norse or Greek. We tell a personal story with the backdrop of gods, giants, etc. through our lens, and that lens is not 100% by the Eddas, which for context are two manuscripts compiled in the 13th century, which contain most of what we know about Norse mythology. Sophos goes on to point out a number of liberties Sony Santa Monica has taken with God of War and its source material, including a humorous example of Brock, a legendary dwarven blacksmith they made blue and talk like a foul-mouthed prospector. The thread also points out the irony of how Kratos has been played by black actors throughout the entire franchise, and how other characters' origins or characteristics have been significantly changed from their source material. Sophos concludes thoughtfully with a call to action, explaining, we've consistently taken mythological characters and given them our own spin. So if the color of Angrboda's skin is where you draw the line at how respectful we've been, it's probably worth some self-examination. It's hard to add much more to that sentiment, but we're curious. What do you think it means when somebody says a game is too political or to somehow keep politics out of games? Let us know in the comments. Try to stay positive out there, and thanks for watching.